And one more thing that you have to keep in mind when you are, let's say, bisecting the sides of a polygon, which is very important actually, is that let's say you have a shape that looks like this. Now I need to find, and hopefully let's say this shape is an actual exact rectangle, unlike the tapered edges that I have ended up making. But what I'm coming to is, let's say on this we found that this width is 4.2, so 42 mm, which means we found the midpoint at 21. Now one option is that you place the scale immediately after doing that over here, and hoping that you have aligned it properly, you create this line. The other option is that rather than you doing that, you measure on this side also, that you are at 1 2 3 4 42, so it should be at 21. Now if you look, I have missed it by 1 millimeters because I did not plan and make the line. So it's always a good idea that you make the line on this side, or the plotting that you're doing on this side as well as on that side, so that when you place it, you're not going by eyeballing, but you are actually going by the given dimensions. This way, the advantage is that when you're finally going to see the outcome of your efforts, it's going to give you higher accuracy than when you are only eyeballing it. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. Many a times while making polygons or any other shape or a pictogram that they have given, we end up using it only on one side. It's always a good idea to mark it on both sides. This will specially help you when you are creating, let's say, typefaces, because if let's say you have to create the shape O with a thickness, we can imagine that this O probably came out of a rectangle. So let's say we recreate a rectangle for ourselves first, and we also say that, okay, this may be the midpoint or the mid center line, and similarly that may be the center line. However, this arc is probably only till there, and then it's a straighter line. So we look at that and we decide that, okay, let's plot this distance on this vertical. So let's say that is 16 mm, and we plot it over here at 16 mm as well. Yeah, we will have to do that to all sides. So one option is that by using the scale you keep doing that. The other option is that you mark 16 mm on this. So simply put it on, okay, I'm turning blind, so mark it 16 mm over here, and then all you need to do is put this on the vertex, make an arc, put this on the vertex, it's already correct, so one arc over here, and similarly one arc from there. As soon as you have the 4 arcs or 3 arcs, because one you have already made, life will become a lot easier when you have to mark these points. Now the advantage of this for you will be that you also need to figure out this midline. So whatever is the width over here, that's 3 centimeters, so 1.5 centimeters over here, and similarly 1.5 centimeters over here. Once I have plotted this as well, and let's say I bring it all the way down, I can figure out that if this is the width which I need to plot over here, yeah, so let's say if I place this over there and I bring this down, similarly I plot it from there and I get an arc over here, life becomes a lot easier with a compass because you end up making the right arcs. But here also keep in mind, what is your final outcome? Is it that arc or is it this rectangle? If you notice, what I have done here is that I have made the rectangle too dark, and therefore that is not going to look its part. So in the end, what you may end up doing, or I may end up doing, is that I may end up erasing these lines. Now the problem is IGCSE wants to see those lines because it helps the examiner understand how you went about constructing the product. Therefore, construction lines are important to us, and you will have to make sure that when you draw, your rectangle is lighter, but all the arcs that you have recreated are going to be darker, so that when you see the shape, you actually understand how it was made.